Thanks for checking out our videos online. I think you're going to really enjoy this series. If you would, please take a moment after watching the video and rate it or leave a comment. This will enable us to post many more lessons like this in this series. Thanks. Welcome to Blues for Piano and Keyboard. This is chapters 4 and 5. You've got your left hand working. Now let's work on your right hand. Guess what? We're going to use our old buddies again, 5th, 6th, and 7ths. This time, however, the dominant 7th is going to be on the bottom. Now I can hear you saying, what? The 7th can be on the bottom, can it? Of course it can. For instance, the dominant 7th of C major is a B flat, but there are lots of B flats on the keyboard. With your right hand, simply play any old B flat with your thumb, and then play a 3rd and a 5th above that. You've got to get used to the notion that you can spread the notes of a chord out anywhere you want on the keyboard. This is what's meant by the term voicing a chord. In our original course titled Pattern Piano and Keyboard, we studied how you can take the notes of any chord and learn to voice them on the keyboard. Then we learned to play these voicings in rhythmic patterns, effectively giving you a powerful music vocabulary that you can use to play any song by ear. Let me cover one more bit. You're going to hear me talk about a blues trick that involves sliding a chord from minor to major. Now I know I say this a lot, but if you went through our original course, you'd know how to change a chord from major to minor. To change a chord from major to minor, simply lower the 3rd a half step, or move it down to the very next note. Let's begin with the first chord in the blues, which is C. In the right hand, I'm putting the dominant 7th on the bottom of my right hand, or using my thumb. And then I have a 3rd, which is an E above that. And then I have a 5th above that. So it's a nice voicing. And in the left hand, when you add what we've done, you already have really the foundation or the basic structure and sound of the blues already. Okay, let's add a little more spice to the whole thing now. Look again at that first chord, C. I'm going to have you do a little something different now. I want you to play instead C minor. Okay, and then slide it back up to C major. Now, if you took our original course, you'd know that to make a chord minor, you lower the 3rd a half a step. Okay? And so we're going to play each one of these chords in the 12-bar blues as minor chords for a second, and then use the same finger on the 3rd to slide it up to major. Listen to this. Okay, up to F, and back to C. Do you hear the slide? From minor to major. Blues singers do the same thing with their voice. Booty, oh yeah, I've got the blues way down to my shoe. That's a nice little trick. Now we're going to put it all together. Some left hand rhythm with some yum yum right hand spice. In the upcoming audio, you'll hear me referring to whole steps and half steps. Whole steps and half steps are the main building blocks of scale and chord construction. For a more in-depth study on half steps and whole steps, go to PlayPianoTODAY.com. Go to the top of the page and click on Original Course. One last thing, in the upcoming audio clip, you'll hear me talk about moving one of the riffs up an octave. For a study in octaves, again, go to KeyboardBlues.com and click on Original Course. Let's move on now to a blues lick that's been tried and true down through the years, and it's built on everything we've learned so far. Now I know you've heard that a million times in rhythm and blues music. Let me show you how to play it. I simply play the first voicing of C that we learned, And then the top note goes up a whole step, the middle note goes up a half step, and the bottom note goes up a whole step. Okay? And then back to the original. So like this. Look at the illustration I have there. Okay, the top note slides up a whole step, the middle note goes up a half step, the bottom note goes up a whole step, and then back. Okay, all within this first 4 beats of C, like this. Now in F it sounds like this. Now remember, don't worry about what the notes are. Just remember the top note goes up a whole step, the middle note goes up a half step, and the bottom or dominant 7th note goes up a whole step, right? And then slides back. Now if you want an in-depth study of what these whole steps and half steps are really doing, and what chords you're going to, so that you'll really understand what music is, go back to KeyboardBlues.com and order the original course. I'm really not ashamed to advertise that because it's been so helpful to so many people. All right, now let's use what we've studied. Here's the whole thing together with that voicing. Now up to F, back to C. Now up an octave. It's nice. All right, let's break it loose. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the blues have left the building.